A lot of times I struggle with anxiety and overthinking, especially when it comes to achieving goals that I really want to achieve. But the past couple of days, I've just embarked on an experiment that's really changed everything, and I wanted to tell you about it. So, in the morning, I basically just ask myself two questions. I say, where would you have me go and what would you have me do? And I just journal the responses. And this could be thinking of asking God or your intuition, whatever most resonates with you. But then the key is to follow through and trust that plan. So, for example, yesterday I received guidance to write an email because I'm promoting Becoming Your Future Self 30-day habit challenge on Substack, which you can check on the link in the bio or in the description if you want more info on that. And then it instructed me, God, or my intuition, the guidance told me to go to the gym, which normally I wouldn't have done because I was a little tired in the afternoon, but I just really felt this like deep compulsion. Like, God told me to go to the gym. I have to go to the gym. And I did. And it was so great. It was exactly what I needed, actually. And then today, the guidance was don't write any email, rest all morning and then film a YouTube video because God told me that I need to focus on YouTube and I need to be present here. So that's what I did. And it's just so freeing because I'll tell you what happened last night was I went to bed. Sometimes you go to bed and you just feel like I didn't get everything done on my list today, and you kind of worry about what you need to do or what didn't get done or how you need to change things in the future to get different results or whatever. It can be a lot. But I felt deep in my soul like I was who I was meant to be today. I did everything that I was meant to do, and I was the person that I was supposed to be. And so, that helped me a little bit today with the trusting. And it was amazing because actually the guidance that came through with the things that I was instructed to do was like, I felt so light and happy after hearing that because usually I might have convinced myself of all these random little tiny things that I need to do in the morning. And then maybe I wouldn't have had the energy to do this YouTube video. And then so I wouldn't have really gotten anything done. But just getting that guidance gave me permission, really, like, oh, I know what the most important thing is. I'm gonna focus on this most important thing and let the morning stuff go, and then just trust that I'm being guided and this is the right thing to do. And even this afternoon, again, I was feeling a little tired and I'm like, do I really have the energy to do this? But then I put my makeup on and I got ready and like tuned in, what should I talk about? Like, I'm not even using a script for this. And it was all exactly the way that it was supposed to be. And I think that the biggest, because I really help people live their purpose, become who they're supposed to be, find the careers that they're meant to do. And for a lot of us, that's some type of entrepreneurship, writing, business, coach, healer, artist, whatever, unique gifts that you have to give that you want to get paid for. And we all struggle with how to do that because the world is full of so many rules and strategies and hacks and tips and tricks. Do this and that. And it really cuts us off from our own wisdom. And something that I deeply believe is that we all have a unique purpose, but we also all have a unique pathway to that purpose. I believe that inside of our souls is literally the step-by-step guidance that each of us needs to achieve our bigger dreams and get experience what we want out of life, but also become the person who we're supposed to be. And like even the more things superficial, like I really want to live in an oceanfront house one day. And I really believe that my business can help others and create a lifestyle financially where I can do that because, that's where I'll do my best work when I'm living in an environment that I'm really happy in and that makes me feel good. And I feel like the same is true for you. A lot of women, especially, I don't think women are cut out for 9-to-5 jobs. I think we are meant to work a few hours and then have time to relax and care for ourselves, cook healthy meals, work out, spend time with our families. And that's part of our purpose too. But we can get so caught up in how do I get there? How do I get to that, point 10 chapters down the line? And we can become fearful. and attached to the outcome. And in that fear and attachment, we focus in on all of these other things. Well, what do I need to do? And, if you're like me, you're really hardworking, you'll do anything, but what's the right thing to do? What are you actually being guided to do? And then trusting that guidance. We stay really attached to these outcomes because we really want it, but then at the same time, we also deep down feel like we're not worthy of it. And it's that sense of unworthiness and that attachment that prevents us from receiving what we most desire. And then so in that attachment, that's when the overthinking starts, because the root of overthinking is actually fear. And so that's why, like, sometimes at night, I'll try and like write in my journal and plan out, like, I'm going to do this, this, and this. But I've noticed that even when I do that, it never really releases the underlying anxiety. And so what I do instead, what I have been doing is just connecting to that deeper fear and releasing it and processing it. And then underneath of that, connecting to faith. Because now when I overthink, I just remind myself that's fear, that's not faith. And so, reconnecting to that and acknowledging what I'm actually afraid of. Because when we are attached to that fear, then we are not able to, we don't have access to the intuitive guidance, but we're also not likely to follow it, because you might be like, oh, well, that's not enough work. Or, oh, I really kind of trust myself to do a YouTube video or an Instagram post or a Substack post or whatever your mode of expression is. I really want to do that from my heart, but these people over there say that I need to do it in this specific way. And I don't really trust myself, so I'm going to do it in that specific way. But then you do that and it doesn't work because it's not aligned to you. And then that feeds into the doubt that, oh my God, maybe what I want is impossible. So then you double down and go further chasing along the rabbit hole of like, what strategy will work for me? When in reality, what you needed to do was come back to center, sit with your fear, sit with your attachments, sit with your feelings of unworthiness, sit with your shame of past mistakes and failures, and release all of that so you can actually hear the intuitive guidance that it's deeper within you. And this is what I do with my clients all the time, because I'm not like, I'm a life purpose, spiritual, business-y coach, but I'm not really, because what I do, I don't give you strategies. I mean, I can help you with my, 10 years of online experience selling everything from online courses to coaching to guided journals to memberships and everything. But I also really believe that within you lies the answers and to how to realize your greatest dreams, your business, one step at a time. And what happens is that when you think too much about what you want to create, you might end up creating the wrong thing because you do things based on what you think will work, or you are doing the right thing, but you're doing it in a way that's not really aligned to you. Like maybe your sales strategy isn't aligned to you, or your marketing isn't aligned to you, or, something else, but you're doing it because you think you need to. But it's that attachment and that fear that is keeping you locked in, like, I'm not good enough, and so I need to follow all these outside guidelines. But then that doesn't work. So you need to just follow what's within. So what actually creates results is moving from faith. And I really encourage you to try out this little exercise that I've done. Like everything, even if I have a post to do or an email or whatever, I just tune in, what would you have me say? And act and trust that. And, really, it's so much easier that way. I mean, I used to spend a whole week writing a blog post and now it takes me an hour and it just comes out and I just trust that it's the right thing. And I've made more sales in the past week than I have in like a long time. So I know this is what works, because every time in my business that I do experience a big breakthrough, it's in these little moments of surrender and of trusting and of moving on the guidance that comes from within me. But then what happens is I always get a little success and then I start gripping and holding on again because I'm afraid that it's all going to go, because maybe on some level deep down, I don't believe that I'm really worthy. And so, that's my own learning. And I feel like it's a lifelong thing that we all are always deepening into, like our worthiness, because like, why should it be this easy? Why should we get what we want, experience a life that really makes us happy and have it be in a way that's so easy. Like, we're told that we have to like work really hard and we have to suffer and we have to do things that we don't want to do. But what if that wasn't true? And what if there was a God or a higher power that really did love you and wanted you to give your gifts to the world in a way that also nourished you and made you feel fulfilled and satisfied? Like, what if that was life? And what if you could just tune in? What if you didn't have to figure anything out? What if you could just tune in every single day and ask, what would you have me do? What would you have me say? And what if just doing those little things and like dancing with the creator, as I've heard it say, each and every day, and that was enough. And then you went to bed and you knew, I did what I had to do today. I did what I was supposed to do. I was who I was meant to be. I'm where I'm meant to be. And everything's happening right on time. And it's like the more that we trust and release and surrender and let go, the faster things happen. That's when you can quantum leap. But it's not when you're attached to an outcome. It's not when you need something to prove your worthiness. It's when you move from worthiness, when you know that you're worthy and you move from that place rather than feeling like, oh my God, I need to achieve this goal or make this money or get this many likes or this many subscribers so that I can feel good enough. Because then it's this like constant reassurance and you need more and more and more to always remind yourself or to feel good enough. And that was never the point. The point was to love yourself and to be who you are and to express that, make an impact in the world, and yes, grow, but do it from a place of deep love and surrender. And, maybe life doesn't have to be as difficult or achieving our goals as we make it out to be. So the biggest takeaway, I think, from today is just know who you are and express that naturally. And then just trust that everything that's meant for you will come your way. So I hope that resonated with you. If you'd like to connect with me more, definitely check out my Substack. I also have a free 5-day email course, Monetize Your Creative Genius. You can find that in the link or in the description. And I'm also working with people one-to-one. So if you'd like to inquire about what that would look like, go ahead and email me or contact me, get on my email list, and then you can get my email address. I'll talk to you soon. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments what resonated with you today. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye.